Hello, in today's video, we want to talk about how to manage your time as a college student. Right, so basically, for college students, time management is just how we can bridge the gap between our college or academic life and our personal life. Because as college students, we would love to have enough fun, enough time for leisure activities, spend time with colleagues, go to parties, go to different events as a student, and so we also have to perform academically. So that brings a problem of how to manage your time effectively. Now, ideally, I will just go to the internet, look for some 5 tips to help you manage your time realistically, and then tell you to set some goals, and tell you what you want to hear. But as your big brother who has been in the university and out, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be real with you and tell you the real things that you need to do or stop doing, so that you have enough time for yourself and for your family or your friends as you want. So let's get down straight to it. Now, number one, the first thing I will say you should do is to identify where you spend most of your time, or identify your time wasters, right? I'm going to be real with you. You know how your day is when you wake up from, let's say, 6 to when you sleep, let's say 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know when you sleep, but within that period, within a day, where you spend most of your times. Whether you spend it hanging out with colleagues, whether you spend it at the library, whether you spend it goofing off, watching TV, God knows what you do with your time, but you know where you spend most of your times. Now, look at your entire day, look at where you spend most of your times, and try to reduce it by half. Okay, I'm not saying you shouldn't spend time on social media, but don't spend too much time on social media, because 5 hours a day on social media is too much for you as a college student. You don't need that. You only need that 5 hours when you are using that 5 hours to study on YouTube or other platforms. But apart from studies, if you're watching YouTube shorts, comedy and stuff like that, you don't need that. So find your time wasters. Let's say you're in the middle of studies and a colleague passed by and say, "Oh, I want us to go do one or two things," and then you follow them. You don't have a purpose in life, right? So identify your time wasters, things that waste your time. Identify them and then cut them off. Cut them off. Number two, avoid procrastination or make deadlines for yourself, right? So this number two is trying to tell us that, why are you waiting to study at the end of the semester, right? Why compile all your study materials or your research works or your assignment until last minute before you do it? Why not now? Why are you procrastinating, right? This is one of the problems we have as college students, because we spend most of our time watching TV, on social media, indulging in unnecessary activities that we don't have time to study, and at the end of the day we complain about not having time. We are always procrastinating. So if you have an assignment, do it now. Once you do it now, you have time to go and play around later. If you have research work to do it now. If you have lectures to attend, do it now. Avoid procrastination. Are you okay? That's number two. Now, number three, be disciplined. This is by far one of the hardest things to do as a student, and I've also been there before. I understand how difficult it is to be disciplined as a student, but you have to be disciplined, right? So if you wake up and pair your schedule or pair your timetable, you are supposed to study for 3 hours in a day, and you want to hang out 2 hours with your friends. Make sure you study 3 hours in a day before you go out with your friends. Okay, so make sure you study 3 hours. Be disciplined about it. You have to do it. Just like the way you wake up and you brush your teeth without being told, be disciplined about your studies as well. Because at the end of the day, you are there for the college degree. I'm not talking about being successful in life over here. That's not what we are doing here on this channel. We are talking about purely academics. So if you want your degree, you want to pass your exam, be disciplined about your study. Okay, be disciplined. Now, avoid too much social media, right? We spend too much time on social media. That is something we're going to discuss later on. But be disciplined, avoid too much social media, get your assignments done, right? Get your assignments done. If you need to attend lectures, go for it now. If you need to attend some program, go for it. If you want to learn a skill, learn it now. Why do you want to learn that skill tomorrow? Why next week? Why keep postponing, right? Do it now, right? So be disciplined about it, steady, and then you have time to play with your friends, and colleagues. Now, tip number 4, forget motivation. I'm going to be honest with you. Forget motivation. The world doesn't care whether you are happy or not. That's not what we're interested in. We're interested in results. So if you study based on your feelings, whether you are happy or not, you are not going to be successful in school or in college. Right? I'm not talking about successful in life. I'm talking about being successful in college. So regardless of whether you are happy or not, you need to study 2 hours. You study 2 hours. Regardless of whether you've eaten or not, you need to study for 2 hours. You need to study of 2 hours. Regardless whether you've been given broken heart or not, you need to study for 2 hours. You study for 2 hours. Are you getting my point? So forget motivation. You don't need to listen to motivation every day before you do what you have to do. As a man or as a human being on this earth, you need to do what you have to do. Are you okay? You need to do what you have to do. So forget motivation. Remove the idea that I need to be motivated to learn before I learn. No, you have to do it because it's a must. Your parents are spending a lot of money for you to go to school. So make sure you do it. Learn. Go to the library, go to study groups, learn with colleagues, solve past questions, do things that will help you pass your exam or your college exams, right? You don't need motivation. So if you're not feeling motivated, you don't do it. If you're feeling motivated today, fluctuation of emotions will not really help you in college. So that's tip number 4. And the last tip I want to give you is to set realistic goals. Set realistic goals for yourself, right? So don't say I want to study 5 hours a day. No, you're just going to waste your time, right? Depending on some students, 5 hours a day will be good for them. But you have to know yourself. If you know you can study 5 hours a day, if it's just going to be 1.5 hour, concentrate during that 1.5 hours. Avoid any distractions. No phone, no internet connection, no calls from colleagues. Go to a less noisy environment, the library preferably, or the reading room. Have peace of mind and focus and study purely for 1.5 hours. If it's 2 hours, purely 2 hours. So if you do that every day, by the end of the semester, you have covered everything you need to cover for your exam. You just revise a little bit, and because you've studied already, your mind already has the information in your long-term memory, and revision will just refresh your memory, and then you can easily pass your exam. So here are some of the tips that I have for you to manage your time effectively as a college student. And like I said, I'm not going to go the normal traditional way. I'm going to be real with you. So number 1, identify your time wasters, where you waste your time, right? So number 2, avoid procrastination. Why do it tomorrow when you can do it now? You don't have time. Do it now, right? Number 3, be disciplined. Be disciplined about it, right? Be disciplined. I have to learn. I have to do my research work. I have to do my research work. No one should come and interfere with your schedule, right? Be disciplined about it. And then number 4, forget motivation. You don't need motivation. You don't need your emotions to learn in college, right? Because it wouldn't help you, right? And number 5, set realistic goals, right? Set realistic goals for yourself and stick to it. Stick to it. If it's 2 hours of studies, 2 hours of studies. If it is 4 hours of studies, 4 hours of studies, uninterrupted by social media or any other thing. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you find these tips very useful. And once you practice this over and over again, I'm sure you'll come to appreciate how much time you have to spend in your college life, and have more time to spend with friends and family, and hang out and have some fun whilst you're in the college. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.